So good evening class. Today we will continue and complete our chapter, that is discharge of a contract. So we are left with the last part, that is discharge by breach of contract. Right? We are left with the last part, that is discharge by breach of contract. Okay, so what is discharge by breach of contract? Means there are suppose two parties to the contract, suppose A and B. Now A violates certain rules and regulations for which, or violates something for which the contract gets discharged. Because of a violation, because of certain violation, it is not possible to fulfill the contract. So whenever the contract is not getting executed, it means the contract is automatically getting discharged, right? So this is violation. So discharge by breach of contract means by violation, whenever there is certain violation. So when a party is violating something, means the other party is the sufferer. So in case of breach of contract, there come certain remedies. But now first let me talk about the two types of breach. That is, one is actual breach of contract. Actual breach is again divided into two parts. One is at the time when the performance is actually due. Means what? Actual breach means violation is occurring at the time of execution of the contract. So number one is key. At the time when the performance is actually due, means on the date of the performance, the other party, suppose one of the party is violating something. Okay, on the date, suppose there was a date on which A was supposed to supply goods to B, but on that date A fails to supply the good to B. So what happens? The contract between A and B gets discharged, and because of this failure, B might suffer some kind of loss. So there are remedies also in case of breach of contract, right? In other cases, in other discharge methods, we didn't find any kind of remedies, but here there are remedies because it is occurring due to violation of one party, right? So actual breach means on the date of the execution, the party is violating something. So number one is at the time when the performance is actually due, and number two is what? During the performance. Now what do you mean by during the performance? During the performance means, suppose part of the performance is already done, but certain part is left, and the remaining part is not being performed by the party. In that case, what happens? The contract gets discharged. Suppose A had to supply goods to B in two parts, 6 months. In the gap of 6 months, A and B entered into a contract in which, in a gap of 6 months, A was supposed to supply goods to B, but in first half A have supplied, but in the next half A fails to supply the goods to B. In that case, what is happening? The contract was already there, but A fails to perform the contract. A is violating his part of the obligation. So in that case, during the performance is occurring, means during the performance A is violating. So this comes under the actual breach of contract. Comes under what? Actual breach of contract, right? Next, so we will talk about the next thing. Next is what? Next is anticipatory breach of contract. Anticipatory breach. Now what is anticipatory breach? Anticipatory breach means the contract, means any of the parties to the contract refuses beforehand, before the date of execution. Any of the parties to the contract refuses before, from beforehand only the parties refuses. Any of the party to the contract refuses before the date of execution, he or she refuses. Okay, now how can this happen? So actual breach means on the date of execution this is happening, and anticipatory means it is happening beforehand, right? It is happening beforehand. So this is the basic difference. Just know the basic difference. In depth is not required because questions rarely comes. Okay, now this anticipatory breach takes place by two types: by denial, that is, the parties are denying, any of the party is denying that I will not do this or I will not supply that beforehand, only before the date of execution. And number two is by impossibility of performance. Now what is this? By impossibility of performance. Now what is happening? Suppose A promised to sell his car to B on a particular date. Okay, A promised to sell his car to B on a particular date, but before the date of execution, A sold his car to C. Now on the date of execution, is it possible to perform? So beforehand only A is telling B that it's not possible. So by impossibility of performance. By denial is what? Beforehand, before the date of execution. Suppose A was supposed to provide goods to B on 26th of January, but beforehand only, from beforehand only, A refuses to provide the good, then that is by denial. So anticipatory breach means from beforehand. The refusal comes beforehand, means before the execution. But in case of actual breach, the refusal comes on the date of performance or during the performance, right? So this is breach of contract. Now what are the remedies that are available? Now what are the remedies? What are the remedies that are available? Okay, so this video will be a very short one, maybe less than 10 minutes also. Okay, because I will complete this discharge of contract in this video, and in a new video I will start special contract, right? Remedies that are available. So the remedies that are available for the breach of contract are as follows. Number one is rescission. Number two is damage. Number three is quantum merit. Number four is specific performance. I guess it will cross 10 minutes, but anyways, let's just see. And number five is what? Injunction. No, it will cross 10 minutes. It will take a lot of time. Okay, so what are the remedies that are available for breach of contract? Rescission, damage. Now damage are of again four types. Damage again are of four types. One is what? One is general damage. One is special damage. One is vindictive damage. Another one is nominal damage. So what are the remedies that are available for breach of contract? Rescission, damage, quantum merit, specific performance, injunction, right? Okay, now what is rescission? Rescission of contract means whenever a party fails to perform the obligation, then the other party is also free to perform, means he or she is also free to not to perform his or her obligation, right? A fails to perform his duty, and so B is also under no obligation to perform his part. So here comes the end of the contract. So this is rescission, that other party is also just avoiding it, that other party also says that I will also not perform it. So this is one of the remedies available. Rescission. Now what is damage? Now damage is of four kinds. There is general damage. Now what happens in case of general damage? In general damage, the main purpose is to compensate. The main purpose is to compensate the party, aggrieved party, means the party who was not at any fault. Means if A fails to supply goods to B, then the aggrieved party is B. So because of A's failure to supply goods to B, B might have suffered some kind of loss, and so it is the duty to compensate B. So whenever we talk about compensation, we talk about general damage, means we are only trying to compensate the aggrieved party, the party who suffered the loss, right? In case of special damage, what is happening? In case of special damage, this special damage is also provided, but this special damage is only provided when in between A and B, when there was a contract, it was written that if any of the parties fails to fulfill the contract, fails to fulfill their obligation, then special damage is required to be provided. So special damage is only provided when it is mentioned, stipulated in the contract. In case of general damage, what is happening? We are trying to compensate B, just giving the monetary compensation to B, right? Okay, now the next kind of damage is what? Vindictive damage. Now this vindictive damage is more than monetary compensation. When B has suffered some kind of loss, B has suffered some kind of loss, and that loss cannot be compensated only by monetary means or monetary terms. In that case, when we talk about punishment, that is vindictive damage, means we will punish the party who have not fulfilled his or her obligation, for which B have suffered some kind of loss, for which monetary compensation is not enough. টাকা দিয়ে তার ক্ষতিপূরণ করা যাচ্ছে না, সেই সময় আমরা কোন রেমেডি দেব? ভিন্ডিকটিভ, দ্যাট ইজ উই আর ট্রাইং টু পানিশ the person who have done this. In case of general, it's only monetary compensation. Special damage provided only if it's mentioned in the contract. Vindictive is punishment plus monetary to roiche, but my main aim for vindictive damage is to provide punishment, to give punishment, right? So that is vindictive. And the last is nominal. Nominal damage means a minimum something. Suppose A have done something to B, but for that B have not suffered any kind of loss, so just a nominal thing to be given because of A's failure it has happened. So a nominal something, very little amount of something to be provided to B, right? So rescission was what? That the other party was given the right to cancel out, means to come out of the contract by not fulfilling the obligation. In case of damage, there are 4 types, that is general damage, special, vindictive, and what? Nominal. In general, monetary compensation is main. In case of special, it's only possible if it's stipulated in the contract. In case of vindictive, monetary compensation is okay, but it is not possible to cover up the loss with monetary compensation. So here main target is punishing the other party. Okay, nominal is just few something, just to just the damage, this kind of damage is provided in order to show that yes, A have done something, that's it, to prove that yes, it's A's fault, nothing else. Okay, because B has not suffered some huge loss. Okay, now what is quantum merit? Now it's important to know what is quantum merit. Now quantum merit, the question, the quantum merit, the Black Law Dictionary says that quantum merit is nothing, it means as much as he deserved. So give the person whatever he or she deserves, not more than that. That's it, nothing more you need to know about quantum merit. Just remember, what does this term quantum merit means? Quantum merit means as much as he deserved. So as much as he deserved means whatever he deserves, just give it. That is the meaning of quantum merit. Now what is specific performance? Now what is specific performance? Now this specific performance is what? It's an order by the court. So this is an order by the court, means my specific performance only comes, this is type of specific performance happens here also if monetary compensation is not adequate remedy. If the monetary compensation is not adequate remedy, in that case comes specific performance. Now this is what a person who is aggrieved by the breach of contract can file a suit for specific performance, that is for an order by the court upon the party guilty of breach. Means here suppose A and B, now B will file, B has suffered some loss, B will go and file, means B will go and case of, means B will file a suit for what? For specific performance by court, means B will ask the court to take necessary legal steps to provide him or her the remedy. Okay, so B will apply to the court for specific performance. So this type of specific performance is only possible if monetary compensation is not adequate, right? Now what is injunction? Injunction, you all have heard. Injunction is nothing. Injunction is an order of the court. The court gives order directly. Here the party is applying to the court for specific performance, but in case of injunction, the court gives an order in order to stop something or in order to do something. So there are two types of injunction. One is prohibitory injunction and one is mandatory injunction. So mandatory injunction means the court will ask you to mandatorily do something, and in case of prohibitory injunction, the court will ask you to not do something. Is it clear? So this completes my chapter, that is discharge of contract. So discharge by breach of contract. Breach means violation for which remedies are available. There are two types of breach of contract. One is actual and one is anticipatory breach. Okay, the two types of remedies that are available for breach of contract are what? Rescission, damage. Damage is again divided into four parts, that is general, special, vindictive, nominal. In case of general, we are just monetary compensation. Special only if it's mentioned in the contract. Vindictive, punishment plus monetary compensation. And nominal is what? Just to identify that who was guilty. That's why that damage is provided. Quantum merit, the term means as much as he deserved. Give the person whatever he deserved, not more than that. Specific performance is what? Whenever a party who is aggrieved applies to the court for specific performance, when monetary compensation is not the adequate remedy. Injunction is an order of the court to do something or not to do something. To do something means mandatory injunction, and to not to do something is prohibitory injunction. Right? So this completes my chapter, which is discharge of contract. So my next chapter and the last chapter is specific contract. Okay, let's just start in this video only, then it will be easier. Okay, so specific contract. I'm starting the specific contract. I will need another class to complete this chapter. So today we will just start specific contract, a new chapter, specific contract, and this will complete our syllabus finally. Okay, so specific contract, there are first two types of contract. One is absolute, one is contingent. So in this chapter you don't have to go in depth পড়তে হবে না, মোটামুটি একটা আইডিয়া থাকলেই হবে. So what is absolute contract? Absolute contract, simply if I say, it means there is no condition. In case of contingent, there is condition, means it's a conditional contract. In case of absolute, no condition. In case of contingent, there is condition. So this is the difference between absolute and contingent contract. So what are absolute contract means? A contracts with B to sell his car for rupees 5 lakh on a specified date. There is no condition added. And in case of contingent contract, what is happening? A promises to supply goods to B only if a ship returns within 1 month. First one was, there was nothing condition, but here see, I have imposed a condition that A will supply goods to B only if the ship returns within 1 month. So this is contingent contract, that is conditional contract. Okay, now what is contingent contract? What are the types of contingent contract? What are the types of contingent contract? What are the types of contingent contract? Okay, contract, the number one is depending upon happening of an uncertain event. Next is what? Depending upon non-happening of an uncertain event. Number 3 is depending upon happening of an uncertain event within a fixed time. Again, number 4 will be what? Guess. Depending upon the non-happening of an uncertain event within a fixed time. And number 5th is depending upon an impossible event. Right? So there are 5 types of contingent contract. So very easily I will describe with an example. Depending upon the happening of an uncertain event, A promises to supply goods to B if the ship returns. So this event is uncertain whether the ship will return or not return. We don't know. Just listen to the examples. Number 2 is depending upon the non-happening of an uncertain event. A promises to supply goods to B if the ship does not return. Shipta na hele, A debe na. Depending on the happening of an event within a fixed time. A promises to supply goods to B if the ship returns within 1 month. We are specifying a time here. A promises to supply goods to B if the ship does not return within 1 month. যদি এক মাসের মধ্যে না আসে তাহলেও দেবে না, তাহলে দেবে, তারপরে সাপ্লাই করবে, ঠিক আছে। আর ডিপেন্ডিং আপন অ্যান ইম্পসিবল ইভেন্ট, এ প্রমিসেস টু সাপ্লাই গুডস টু বি ইফ বি কুড ব্রিং স্টার্স ফ্রম দ্য স্কাই। ইম্পসিবল হবেই না, এগুলো তো আনসার্টেন ছিল, এগুলো ইম্পসিবল। সো ডিপেন্ডিং আপন দ্য হ্যাপনিং অফ এন ইভেন্ট within a fixed time, non-happening of an event, uncertain event, non-happening of an uncertain event within a fixed time, depending upon an impossible event. Just this much. That is contingent contract and types of contingent contract. Clear? Okay. Now we'll talk about another contract. This is quasi-contract. These are the certain special types of contract. Now what is quasi-contract? Quasi-contract, it is based on a maxim which says nemo debit locu platori ex lina justua. This means no man must grow rich out of another person's cost. So nemo debit locu platori ex linea justua. These contracts are also known as constructive contracts. So what do you mean by quasi-contract? Quasi-contract means no man must grow rich out of another person's cost. অন্যের খরচে অন্যের কোনো ক্ষতি হয়ে গেলে বা অন্যের যেটা খরচ সেইটা যদি আমি নিজের লাভ ভেবে চলি তাহলে সেইটা আমাকে বড়লোক করবে না। দ্যাট ইজ quasi-contract. Suppose a person is supplying some kind of necessary products to you. তুই ধর কোনো মুদিখানা থেকে চাল ডাল কিনে আনছিস, দ্যাট ইজ ফর ইয়োর নেসেসিটি পারপাস, দ্যাট ইজ ফর ইয়োর লিভিং পারপাস। তুই যদি তাকে টাকা না দিস সেটা তো তার খরচ হয়ে গেল তাহলে, কিন্তু তুইও তাকে টাকা না দিয়ে কি তুই সেই টাকা নিয়ে বড়লোক হতে পারবি? ক্যান ইউ গ্রো রিচ আউট অফ দ্যাট পারসনস কস্ট? নো. So it is necessary that you repay back the amount. Payment. So types of quasi-contract is first what? Supply of necessities. Number 2 is what? Payment by an interested person. If suppose তোর কোনো খরচা সেটা someone who is interested in you is paying that amount, so it is your duty to repay back that person. Suppose মা দিয়ে দিল সেই খরচাটা, something তোর কোনো পার্সেল এলো বাড়িতে, that was your cost, that was you need to pay for that parcel, but since you are not there in the home, so মা কি করলো সেই টাকাটা দিয়ে দিল, so it's your duty to pay back to mom, right? Responsibility of the finder of the good. Suppose তোর মানি তোর পার্সটা কোনোভাবে পড়ে গেল রাস্তায়, সো যে পার্সনটা সেটা পেলো, সো দ্যাট ইজ দ্য ওই পার্সনের দরকার যে সেই মানি পার্সটাকে ততক্ষণ ঠিক মতো নিজের কাছে গুছিয়ে রাখো যতক্ষণ না তার ওনারকে খুঁজে পাওয়া যাচ্ছে। So it is the responsibility of the finder of the good. In case of mistake or coercion, if তোর কারণে for your mistake বা any delivery হয়ে যাচ্ছে কোনো মিস্টেকে, so it should be that mistake, ওই মিস্টেকটা তুই ধর করলি, ধর এ বিকে কোনো টাকা ভুল করে বশতে দিয়ে দিল, so it is a duty of B to refund back that amount, কিন্তু কেউ দেবে না। আমি ভুল করে কাউকে টাকা দিয়ে দিলাম, সেটা তাকে দেওয়ার ছিল না, অন্য কাউকে দেওয়ার ছিল, তো যাকে আমি দিলাম তার রেসপন্সিবিলিটি কি যে ওই টাকাটা আমি ফেরত দিয়ে দেব। বাট কেউ কি করবে এটা? রিয়েল লাইফে তো আমি দেখিনি কোনো দিন। ঠিক আছে, এবার when a person lawfully does something with good reason, a person is doing something with good reason, so it is your duty, lawfully কিছু করছে and some other person is enjoying a benefit, a person is doing something for which the other person is enjoying some benefit, for that it is the duty of the other person enjoying the benefit to make compensation to the former party, make compensation to the former party. আমি আমার বাজার করে নিয়ে এসে, মনে হয় তার এক্সাম্পল দিয়েছিলাম, আমি কি করলাম, আমি বাজারের ব্যাগটা রেখে দিয়ে চলে গেলাম ক্লাসরুমে স্টুডেন্টসদের টিফিন টাইমে তারা কি করলো, যা কেক বিস্কিট আমার ব্যাগে ছিল সব খেয়ে নিল। So the benefit is being enjoyed by you all, so it is your duty to again compensate me back with those things, because it was my thing, it is my thing. এটা কি? Number 4, obligation to pay for non-gratuitous acts. Okay, so what is happening? Nothing. In case of quasi contract, it says that যেটা একজনের cost সেটা তুমি compensate করে দাও. No man can grow rich out of another person's cost. If someone is supplying necessary to you, provide the money to that person. If any interested person has paid on behalf of you, pay back that person. If you have find any good, then keep that good until and unless you are finding the actual owner of that person. In safe custody, keep that good. If someone has provided something for which you have got some benefit, then compensate back that person. So this is quasi contract. Nemo debit loco plateri ex linea justua. No man can grow rich out of another person's cost. This is also known as constructive contract, right? So we are left with only few other contracts, that is contract of indemnity, contract of guarantee, agency contract, bailment, pledge. That's it, 4 types of contract. So we will continue this in the next class, and that will be the last class, which will be maybe probably of 15 or 20 minutes, because that will complete my syllabus. So thank you, class.